Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining this live event focusing on some of the new features of Business Central and the process of upgrading from NAV. Our Director of Solution Architecture, Snehanshu Mandal, will demonstrate 6 new features, then explain upgrading. Snehanshu is a Microsoft readiness trainer and has been in the Dynamics field since 2002. So I will now pass over to him. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott. And hello and welcome to another Ask the Expert series on NAV to Business Central upgrade. And we will also discuss some specific new features of BC 2021 Wave 2. Today, our discussion is divided into 2 parts. One is we'll start with what's new in Business Central 2021 Wave 2. And Business Central is major releases are in 2 Wave 1 and Wave 2. Wave 1 is in the month of April of the year, and Wave 2 is in the month of October of the year. So we are talking about what's new in the Wave 2, which is released in this month. Besides these specific features we are talking about, Business Central has produced many new features in this version, which possibly will be very useful as well in various business scenarios. The second topic we are going to discuss is the finer aspect of Navision to Business Central upgrade, like what happens to your existing license if you upgrade to Business Central, or if you have done NAV developments, can they be ported or migrated to the new system or not? We will also elaborate data migration options for you. It may not be same across the board. It may be different for different customer scenarios. We will also make you aware about the pros and cons of staying on-premise after moving to Business Central, or moving to cloud is better options for you. And finally, we will discuss about how much possibly your upgrade will cost to you. So we hope with these sessions, you will have a better idea about the release and how they could possibly improve your productivity in Business Central. And for those who are planning for NAV upgrade, they will understand the upgrade process much better after this webinar. So we will start with the new features of Business Central released in 2021 Wave 1. So we were going to talk about 6 specific features here, but I was talking about that there are many features available or released in Wave 2. So specifically this 6, we are talking about the improvement in the Teams integration with Business Central. There are several improvements in the Excel integration as well. The end customer error handling and posting experience is also improved. Now we know there are posting previews are there since long in Business Central as well as in Navisions, but there are significant improvement in those posting preview feature as well. We'll talk about a little bit about a new feature in the mobile Business Central in mobile devices, and the item variant in the demand forecast. Let's discuss these features and then we'll move to the NAV to Business Central upgrade. The very first one is the Microsoft Teams. The Microsoft Teams integration was released in the Wave 1, but the Wave 2 improved a lot. So, Business Central app for Microsoft Teams connects team to your business data. So you can quickly share details with your team and connect with your business contacts and respond faster to the internal inquiries over the team. So there are 2 improvements in the Business Central app for Teams. One is that you no longer need to go to the Microsoft Teams and find out the Business Central app and install them in the Microsoft Teams, because not everyone who are using Business Central will be comfortable with that process. So now users in Business Central client have a new wizard that gives them the thorough installing process of this particular app for Teams. So user no longer to struggle to find those app in the team environment. That's the one part. And additionally, you remember in the wave one, what you needed to do, you need to copy a particular screen of Business Central, the URL of the Business Central screen, and then paste it in the Teams, and that's a bit cumbersome. So what the additionally Business Central did, now the Business Central web client includes a new action to share to Microsoft Teams. At the top of the page, or not always the top, you can see a generic share. You could see, let me put some. You could see there is a generic share icon. If you click on that icon, you will find that share to Microsoft Teams. Not only that, it automatically, when you try to share, it will automatically pick up the URL of the screen, including all the, say, filters and all those things already applied to that particular screen, and present it to you in a particular screen from within the Business Central. And on top of that, further, you can just mention the whom you want to share. And if you want to write some additional text in that particular Teams chat, you can put your text as well. So that becomes everything now from within Business Central. You don't really need to shift between the two windows. That's Microsoft Teams, and possibly that is the most useful feature of Business Central and the Teams integration. Next one is the Business Central, how Business Central now have a new way of handling posting errors. So what happens, the product telemetry of Business Central shows that posting groups and the dimensions errors while posting are typically caused by the incorrect setup. This happens because the implementer they set it up initially, and then subsequently when customer does something new or a new business scenario comes, they may not complete all the setups properly. Now, in similar situation, Business Central clarify the errors and provide guidance on how to resolve them to end user in the error handling. It's completely separate window comes up with all the errors. There, it guides them, the end user, how to resolve them. You can now investigate the issues with posting setups on the error messages page across the applications. So there are few specific areas, like in that error message, you will have a description that displays the detail of the error. Then you will have a column of source and source field name that points to the posting setup page when the error occurred, and also link to a page where you can resolve the issue. So you can, from the error message itself, you can click on the link and it opens up the setup, and you can do the additional setup, and the error goes. There will be a support URL column also in these error messages, which provides a link to a troubleshooting guide. It opens up the help files and gives you the knowledge base for that aspect of the error. Additionally, if the error is related to a dimension, so for dimension issues, the error message page provides a link to the context column as well. That opens a page where you can fix the issues in the document. Like quite often what happens, a dimension is mandatory for a particular entity in Business Central, and you have not selected the dimensions. So it opens up and the system throws the error message. So in the error message itself, if you click on the context URL, it will take you to the screen where you can select the additional dimensions. So that's the, you can say, productivity improvement for the end user whenever they encounter error messages. Yeah, so next one is the Excel integration. So you know the edit in Excel feature has been around for a while on pages where businesses often bulk edit data. But this feature was not available on all the pages across the application. So to extend its availability even further, Business Central added it to the pages like recurring general journal, intercompany general journals, and so on. What else? This is the two additional pages where this Excel integration is introduced. Now, even data from the list part, like say you are in the sales order or sales invoice or a purchase order or purchase invoice, they are not, you will not be able to export them to Excel. But now the line part of that order, the sales line part or the purchase line part of that order or that particular document can be saved as Excel file. Even it can it can take all the, because it picks up all the filters and sort orders in the screen and send the data to the Excel. Besides, till now in all the pages, how the Excel integration works, you will have a menu called Pages, and if you click on the pages and that, then you will see edit in Excel or send to Excel kind of thing. That is completely changed. If you see in this particular screenshots, now it is integrated with the share icon I was talking about when I was talking about the Teams integrations. So the Teams integrations, edit in Excel and open in Excel, this three part combined or assigned to that particular share icon. So every screen you will have a share icon and this edit Excel, open in Excel and share to team. All these three options will be available with that particular share icon. What else? Another one from the Excel integrations. So now from a report request page, you can also export report data to Excel. There are various options out there, whether you want to export the report data to report raw data, which is very useful for the developer for troubleshooting a report output. Or if you see that, okay, I want to export the report the way it is displayed in the layout to an Excel, you can also do the same. So you could see when you say send to any request report request page, when you click on the send to, it opens up an options, and you could see there are two options that export to Excel with layout and only the raw data. And it export the Excel file. The Excel file I tried with this aged account payable report and send it to with layout, and I could see the layout is also very nice in the Excel. So when another topic, another improvement in Business Central is the posting a preview. So when posting journals or documents with a large number of entries, accountants quite often want to make sure that the posting will be correct beforehand. So previewing the posting helps prevent the need for corrections, making accountant more productive. So now you can enable the new way of showing posting preview by choosing the extended in the posting preview type field on the general ledger setup page. So in the general ledger setup page, you will have an additional setup. What is the posting preview type? And you can say extended. And the moment you select this extended, the preview window, when this extended posting preview is turned on, you can choose to preview a posting using the preview posting action. For example, on a payment journal, when posting preview page, you can actually choose the show hierarchical view to group the entries, not a plain list of entries and click on them. No, now all the different entries can be viewed in a very hierarchical tree structure. That's really improves, because as an accountant or the finance end user, that will be very useful to figure out what exactly the entries are behind the various groups. Some improvement in the mobile application, mobile app of the Business Central as well. So one of the USP of Business Central is that you can approve documents and transactions from the mobile app. But quite often situation comes when the approver must review attached documents of the transaction or master before approval. but the document attachments were not visible from the mobile app till now. So that is changed. Now Business Central has changed the page type of the document attachment details from a worksheet to a list. That's a bit of technical. Its internal behavior of that page is completely changed, and that improvement automatically enables the visibility of document attachment from the Business Central mobile app. So you can just open that particular attachment from the mobile, close it, and approve a particular transaction or a master from the mobile app of Business Central. This is a very important aspect or change in Business Central related to the planning feature of Business Central. Those who are using the planning feature regularly, that this is very useful. So, item variants are a great way to keep your list of items under control, especially if you have a large number of items that are almost identical. So in this release, you can now register anticipated demand not only with respect to location and dates, but with item variants as well. This unlocks planning capabilities for companies that don't have a steady inflow of sales order and operate using the large list of almost identical items. So if you search for demand focused, you will find a new demand focused entries result. Variant code field is also added to the demand focus entries page now. And you can create entries directly or use the edit in Excel functions in that window for bulk editing. So the only setup required for using item variants in demand focused is that you turn on the use focused by variant toggle on the manufacturing setup, and then plan each variant individually. So the moment you switch that on in the manufacturing setup, your demand focused entries will start having the variant code as well. So that's the 6 topics I choose, which I felt will improve the end user productivity a lot from the customer perspective, because I have not picked up the topics which are a partner specific or the development specific. No, really, our approach was the features, which is very customer specific, and the customer will be benefited with these new features. So besides these 6 features, many improvements are there. They are related to the application, the Business Central applications. They are related to the improvement between the communication between Microsoft 365 and D365 Business Central. There are many things are there related about the administration part of the Business Central. So you can find them, you can search them, or you can find them in the Microsoft Docs with a displayed URL. It's a pretty big, but you could just simply find it in the Google, and you will see there's list of all the new features in Web 2 in that particular Microsoft Docs. So coming back to our next topic about the upgrade, our approach to NAV to Business Central upgrade. The question arises with all these new features and everything. Question arises, is now the right time to upgrade for those who are using Navisions? There are various aspects of it. Like one of the aspects is that till Navision 2017. Those versions are going out of the mainstream support from Microsoft. That is one of the aspects. Can I take certain advantage for the Microsoft promos? Yes, Microsoft has some incentives on a license upgrade or new purchase. And the more you delay, see today possibly there are customers who are in NAV 2013, or 15 or 16. So the more you delay, the more gap between the versions, gap between your NAV versions and the latest Business Central versions, the more expensive your upgrade process will be. Those things you need to keep in mind. One of the biggest incentives is moving to Business Central is that once you are upgraded, and if you are on SaaS, even on premises, you need to spend very minimal services for upgrading in the on-premise as well. If you are on SaaS, your Business Central instance gets upgraded automatically. You don't need to pay a single penny for upgrading your Business Central to the newer versions. That's a huge incentives once you move to Business Central. Regarding the license migrations, few things you need to know first. One is that this is a named user license. So till now, Navision was having a concurrent user licensing model, whereas Business Central, you have the named user concept. But just to mitigate that drawbacks, you can say, if you want to migrate and remain on-premise, Microsoft is giving you the 3 times of your current license count. So if you have 10 users now, you will end up having a 30 users if you remain on premises. And if you want to migrate to the cloud, obviously you need to buy the new license. Your license cannot be migrated to the cloud versions. But Microsoft is going to give you 40% discount on that if you are an existing customer. But you would say, okay, I still need to buy the licenses when I'm moving to the SaaS. So what exactly is the benefit? We'll come to that particular perspective soon. But just for your information, license is named now. If you remain on-premise, you will get the 3 times your current license count. And if you move to cloud, you need to procure the new license, but you will get a 40% discount. Now, how what is our approach, the way we take up any upgrade procedure for our customer or for the new customer who are coming to us? So we analyze your existing Navision instance, extract the various objects. This analysis gives us a report whether how much your Navision instance is customized. You from viewing the development window of Navision, you may say, okay, I have just customized these 5 things, but you will not know that to customize that 5 different things, what are the objects, what is the extent of customizations done in the system across the system. So this analysis gives us that particular detail, and we share that detail with our customer. We also do this exercise for our customer free of cost. And this report gives a complete idea what is the stage of their objects and the customizations. And we also suggest whether how the data migration should be done. And this exercise we do completely free of cost. And we also come out with a completely fixed cost approach to your upgrade. So end of this, we will be able to give you a proposal of how much this upgrade will cost to you. Now, once you agree about this, let's move to how the exact upgrade process happens. What is the various steps we follow in the upgrade process? So once you are ready with and took a decision that you will upgrade, so we go beyond the object analysis. We also do workshop with your business users to understand your system better. We also, advise our end customers if there is an enhancement possible in their system with the upgrade of Business Central, or certain things they may need to do it differently if they migrate to a Business Central, and possibly that will improve the way they are working in the system. And subsequently, we take that particular analysis report I was talking about, that as a base, and we convert your customizations into a concept called extensions. So how it works, we isolated your base system, convert it to base system, that's Business Central, and we'll also isolate the development and customizations done in the Navision standard objects, as well as if you have created any new custom objects, and merge them, convert them together into an extensions. That's the modern way of development. And together, this base object and the extensions will be ported to the Business Central, either cloud or on-premise. That's based on your choice, actually. So that is one part of it, object migrations. Now, another part comes the data migrations. So as a standard, as a normal rule, your data, not only your customizations, we can also upgrade your existing data, port your existing data, entire set of database to the Business Central database. But before we actually do the final upgrade, means for a particular cutoff date, we actually go through several process with your data upgrade because we need to do a lot many testing. So first we will take up your data and then convert it to a NAV 18, and then from NAV 18 to the initial version of Business Central, that is Business Central 14, and then Business Central 14 to Business Central 19. That's the latest versions, that is Wave 2 of 2021. Now, if there are customizations and we have converted them to extensions, we also do the sample data migration for newly created extension. This is an important steps for us because before we are finally upgrading your database and you are going live and you are putting it in the production, your existing team need to be trained fully in Business Central. So for training purpose, the Business Central instance must have your existing data so that your end user can relate to them when they are getting trained. That's why it is important that we do this testing and we migrate some sample data before actually going live. Now the training. Yes, we as a process, we train the key users, and in turn, once the key users are comfortable with the system, the key user train the rest of the users. Now, because Navision and Business Central working is pretty similar, the change management is pretty simple. It's more about like change in the various UI in the system, so key users can very quickly adapt to the new system. But when the key users are giving training to the end user, we still remain standby and handhold them while they conduct the end user training. Now, finally comes the time when you will cross over from your existing system to the Business Central and go live and put it in the production. So you could see we do two things. We upgraded your objects, that is one part. We do certain sample migrations for your end user training as well as testing. Then you do the user acceptance tests, and then we decide a cutoff date, and then we completely convert your existing system data to Business Central system data. So mostly we do these activities on a weekend. So when you come back on a Monday, after a weekend, you are ready to use the new system with all your data intact. That's the way to migrate from Navision to the Business Central. Points to be aware of. This is possibly the 90% of the cases what I have discussed about upgrading from NAV to Business Central. But there are cases for those customers who are using NAV 2009 classic versions, which is more or less around 12 years old, classic versions or prior versions. There can be situation that you are using Navision 5.0, 4.0, and the earlier versions. In those cases, You need to remember that migrating customizations is very complex, as well as the data structure between this old system and the Business Central latest version is completely different. There is a sea change in those data structure. So that's why we take a take a decision on a case-by-case basis. We carefully examine our customer situations, and we may advise them, or we may end up having a discussion and advise them not to do a classic upgrade, instead of do a fresh setups, migrate the masters, migrate the opening balances, migrate the open entries, which will make your aging reports and everything intact in the system. That can be a possibility if you are using NAV 2009 Classic or prior to that version. Now, I was talking about that, hey, in the cloud version, I still need to buy the license. So whether I should stay on premise or whether I migrate to the cloud. So both has certain positives. You could see that if you remain on premise, you will get 3 times of licenses. But if you go to the cloud, you will get a 40% discount of the new licenses. But if you remain on premise, you know that what are the additional costs you have. You have the cost of hosting. So either you are hosting it by yourself, or you are using a third-party hosting facility, or you are hosting in the Azure. So you have an hosting cost. You need to administrate the server as well. So that administration cost will be there, and you will still pay the business ready enhancement plan, the BREP, the 16% license, 16% of your license cost to Microsoft every year. So those are your additional cost remains the same if you remain on premise. But if you move to the cloud, the license fee itself include your infrastructure cost as well. So you will not incur any cost on the infrastructure. The administration is completely taken care of by Microsoft, and Microsoft gives an SLA of 99.7%. And you know that infrastructures, the server hardware, nowadays they get very quickly obsolete because of the technological changes. So if you move to the cloud, your infrastructure remains future-proof. Not only that, your versions will be upgraded automatically always. Not a single penny you will be spending on the upgrade in the cloud. So those are the benefits are there. You are moving to the cloud. So possibly the 60% you will be spending on the new license procurement for the moving to cloud environment. Possibly that will be very similar to the cost you will be paying for the hosting, the administrations, and the BREP you pay to the Microsoft. So you can just quickly check, and we can help you finding out the return on investment calculations. We'll help you taking in very informed decisions, and we can plan it out with you how to upgrade your database, and very transparently can advise you whether to remain on-premise or the cloud. Now, the cost, how expensive upgrade can be. So the cost of the upgrade depends on the few of the aspects, as you already discussed that. If you see, there are 2 things we do in the upgrade. One is that we migrate or convert your objects to extension. Second is we migrate your existing data to Business Central data. So how much customizations you have? If you have low customizations, if you see, your cost will be lower side, it will be much greener. If your customization is higher side, then your cost will be slightly higher. Not a great extent, but slightly higher and towards a more red side. Plus, which versions you are in. So the more gap between the versions, like if you have a versions nav 2015 or 2013, then we need to go through multiple steps before we can migrate to a Business Central. So the more the gap between your versions and the Business Central versions, that also can play certain roles in your how costly or how expensive this upgrade can be. But and then secondly, once we know how much to convert, rest is simply depends on your partner's daily charges. And we at Microgris IT, we give, as I said, we do a free object analysis. We give a fixed cost a proposal, and we have a very, very competitive daily rate. So that concludes today's sessions, and I hope you found this session useful. You can write to us on this mentioned mail IDs if you have any queries, but now we are ready for any queries you have, and we will try to answer them here.
Thank you, Snehanshu. In the Q&A section, there is one question which I think was about one of the first two features that you discussed. And this person says, can this support URLs for errors? Can this support URLs for errors be customized?
Yeah, so this is a new feature and possibly theoretically at this moment I can comment that possibly it will be yes, we will be able to customize the URL of the error messages. But as I said, this is newly released. I will be able to comment. I'm just keeping a note. Possibly we will come out with a blog on this particular topic, whether we can do the customizations on the error page or not. But theoretically, yes, we will be.
Just a reminder to everyone watching at the moment, we welcome any questions. So they can be about upgrading to Business Central, it can be about any of the new features, and also about any new features which haven't been mentioned here. Oh, there's a new question come through. Snehanshu, this one says, license migration will give us more premium licenses than we need, but not enough team licenses. Can we exchange or convert them?
Yeah, so if you are remaining, what I see, there is a way to do it. You can surrender certain part of the license and by the team members, but by default, Microsoft does not give you a conversion from your license and the team licenses. So if you see you are getting a 3 times the license, the concern will be quite often we see the concern that, you know, I will end up paying more BREP. It's actually no, your BREP remains the original calculation. Please remain in that mind. So I could see another queries. I'll just push it. Yep.
So this one says, how complex is it to upgrade reports? What challenges can we face?
Yeah. Not really. I mean, not very complex. If you have created new reports and your versions is after 2013, then the report conversions is not that complex. But you know, the layout of the report, when we convert the reports, the layout the reports, we need to work on to certain extent. That's the effort we spend. But if you are migrating from a versions which is 2009 or prior versions, then the report conversion is completely manual and complex. Because previously, Navision used to have a proprietary report development tool, and now Business Central uses SQL Server Report Builder, and which is a free tool. Anybody literally can create a new report in Business Central if they are expert in SQL Server Report Builder. So not much complex. Only thing sometimes we have seen, if your layout is very complex, then we need to work on that layout in the converted report.
Okay, and there's another one. They're saying, okay, thanks. Think this will cost us more licensing, as named licenses means we will need more team licenses.
Not really. If, as I said, there is two aspects. One is that you will remain the on-premise, then you are not spending any money on the licenses because your license is getting migrated you are getting 3 times of your existing license. So that way, that problem is not there. Now, if you are migrating the cloud, there you have to spend some money. Means you are buying the new licenses, and obviously you have mentioned this. These are named licenses, so possibly in previous way, the concurrent way, possibly you need to buy, say, previously 10 license would be sufficient for you, but in the Business Central, possibly you need to buy 15 licenses. But good part is that when you are buying it, you are getting a 40% discount. That's one thing. Second thing, unlike Business Central, unlike Navision on-premises, your hosting cost, your infrastructure cost, your administration cost, all are included in the license price itself. So we did several upgrades, and we have realized that the cost of maintaining the server, besides the license price, is actually mitigate all this concern, the named user, and you need to buy with a 60% cost of the Business Central when you migrate to cloud. But quite obviously, on a case-to-case basis, we always analyze our customers' requirement, and obviously we calculate the ROI in each case and discuss this with the customer and then conclude on that.
Okay, Snehanshu, there's no new questions coming through, so I think we can finish there. And I want to close by saying that we would love to hear some feedback. So on what you thought of this webinar and of what webinars people would like to see in the future. Anything to do with Dynamics solutions from Microsoft. So it would be great to get that feedback and find out what people are interested to see. So not just webinars, but all kinds of content, blogs, and all sorts. Please reach out to us via email or give us a call, or even just message through LinkedIn. Thanks very much, Snehanshu, and thank you everyone for attending.
Thank you very much. Take care all, and we will come back soon, and we will have many more such Ask the Expert session on the various topics on Navision as well as the Business Central in future. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you.